Welcome to another episode, another Luxury Fridays. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. I have a special guest today. I'm really excited to bring him on here in a bit. We're going to be talking blockchain, crypto, NFTs. We're going to keep it really simple, as well as give some resources if you want some more advanced information. But before we do that, just a simple reminder, if you guys have any questions today, if you're watching this live, no matter what platform you're on, please type in the comments. So Ryan, how you doing? Good to see you, Ryan. Again, type in where you're watching from, and that's also where you're going to ask questions for our guest. If you are watching this on Instagram, go to luxuryfridays.com, click on that first link, and you'll be redirected over to our YouTube page where we're streaming this and we can be interactive and we can actually bring you on camera without downloading any apps or anything like that. We can bring you on camera whether you're on an iPhone or a Android or on your desktop or laptop. So again, Michael LaFido, you are watching this. This is a live stream where we bring on guests and we also ask your questions. We call that AMA, Ask Me Anything. That has to do with real estate, has to do with luxury real estate. You have a scenario, you have a difficult property you're trying to market. Feel free to drop that in the link. We do fresh eyes analysis live without pre-rehearsal. If you have a property that you're marketing and perhaps the seller's on you about why isn't it selling, what can I do to get it sold, what's wrong with my home, drop that Realtor.com link in or your website link that directly links to the property, to the photos and the video, and we'll give you a fresh eyes analysis, a SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. You got to do SWOT analysis on your properties, and you got to know where the market is and where the market's going. Again, our job is to present options so that the consumer can make a sound, wise decision. And right now, there's a lot of downward pressure, right? Between interest rates, between what's going on in Europe, between the stock market up and down and volatility there, a lot of uncertainty. And so our job is to present options so that the consumer can make a sound decision, whether that be a seller, so he can make a sound decision on, or she can make a sound decision on ripping the Band-Aid off and just pricing it aggressive to get it sold going into the summer months and uncertainty, or whether that be a buyer and educating them on where the market is. So with that being said, just a couple reminders too. Historically speaking, we are still at amazing interest rates. My friends over at Keeping Current Matters, I referenced it last week, but they put out an infograph on interest rates over the past 5 decades. So they showed the 1970s average, the 1980s, the 1990s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. And where we are hovering right now, interest rates is historically below the averages of 4 out of the last 5 decades. So we're lower than the 1970s, of course, lower than the 1980s, where interest rates were in the upper teens. We're lower than the 1990s, lower than the 2000s, and we're about 0.25% higher than the average for the 2010s. So literally, it's minuscule in the grand scheme of things. So it's still a great time to buy, and still a great time to sell. And you have to relay that message to the consumer. Again, doesn't matter what interest rates are, doesn't matter who the president is, what gas prices are, or those things are those are outside factors that definitely can push down on the market, and they could also be like a tailwind and help the market, right? So when interest rates were redunculous the last 2 years, did that help the real estate market? Absolutely. So if interest rates and inflation skyrocket, will that hurt the real estate market? It certainly will. But again, life is what drives real estate. Somebody's getting married, somebody's relocating, somebody's moving towards, the city, somebody moving out of the city, somebody wants to upsize, somebody wants to downsize. You got an expecting family, you got, unfortunately, somebody's dying, somebody's getting divorced. That is what drives your market, my market, matter if you're in Chicagoland or you're outside the market. So again, I do have some friends that are on social media watching this that are not real estate agents, and you too can ask questions about real estate and the market. And if you have a scenario or you're currently selling and you need a second opinion. I have a client that owns a property in South Carolina, and he just got the settlement statement and asked about the title settlement fees and what the title fees are all about. So I had to explain that to my client. So no matter if you're based in Illinois or outside of Illinois, every state has different license law, but you can ask us a question. Those that are watching live on Instagram, go to luxuryfridays.com to ask your questions. I can bring you on camera. I'm not able to do that on Instagram, but I still want to stream it live for you. All right, just for those that are just tuning in, my name is Michael LaFido. I'm the author of the book, Luxury Listing Specialist. I'm the founder of the Lux designation. We've done 4 live in-person designation trainings so far this year. January, we kicked it off in Denver. February, we were just outside of San Antonio and Fredericksburg. We did a training in March, but that was in Sunrise and it wasn't our designation training. April, we did our designation training for the Miami Association of Realtors. And then just a couple weeks back, we did our training in Chicagoland. So if you are interested in bringing us down or bringing us up or bringing us out, shoot me a note. I'll put my email in the comment section. You can shoot me an email and we will get back to you about what the requirements are and if we have availability at the time that you're looking at having somebody out. So again, you guys can always go to luxuryfridays.com, Luxury Fridays, to get additional information on us and our training, or shoot me an email at Michael@Marketing Luxury Group. So again, we're trying to bring on guests of different backgrounds. And before I bring on our guest, again, if you are getting value from this, please let us know. I mean, we're doing this on the goodness of our heart. We're trying to raise the bar for the industry. I have some other colleagues that are doing similar type trainings. My business partner, Wayne Probrocki, does a training right after this on investing. So if you're interested in that, we will get you information on that. And you could go to luxuryfridays.com and we'll be including that. On luxuryfridays.com, if I were to bring that up, on luxuryfridays.com, this is what you're going to see if you go there. If you go to luxuryfridays.com, this is what you'll see. You will see, here you go. This is what you're going to see on luxuryfridays.com. I know it's hard to read. So you will see the top link that says Luxury Fridays. I update that. So I always put the date. So on Tuesday of next week, if you log in and you see May 27th, well, I hadn't updated, but next Friday, June 3rd, same time, same place, 11 a.m. Central, we'll be hosting this training. And then I also have some other links there. Who's Michael LaFido? We have stuff on our swag and all that good stuff. And you go to luxuryfridays.com, you'll find that. All right. A great question, Faye. Do we do any remote trainings, or are they all in person? So we'll do remote trainings. We have an on-demand training as well. So for our designation, which is luxurylistingspecialist.com, luxurylistingspecialist.com, that is an on-demand where you can literally get a username and password and go at self-paced. But as far as live remote trainings, Faye, we do them. You're based in Houston. We have courses approved in Texas. We have a 3-hour course, a 2-hour, a 1-hour, and actually a couple 3-hour classes. So we are hopefully going to start doing stuff with the Houston Association of Realtors. Rita Blevins was going to come check out our training in February, but you guys had a big ice storm down there, and so we didn't. So we do in person, we do live, and we will do remote trainings if it's a large enough audience. So just shoot me a note if that's something you're interested in hearing more about. I appreciate that, Faye. And to figure out where the heck we are speaking next, I'll show you where you can always go for that as well. And that's just go to luxurylistingspecialist.com. And then you'll see a tab that says upcoming events. And just a reminder, we do have a blog where we release educational videos, and I want to show you where that's at. There's some really good content there, and we're always open to suggestions if you want us to bring guests on. So like Jeremy, for example, who I'm going to be bringing on here in a minute, we're gonna have him on our podcast talking about blockchain and crypto. And today we're going to keep it really simple, but if you guys have some advanced questions, you're going to want to type those in. But our latest blog, which we're about to release here today, is the language of luxury. Is there such a thing as language of luxury? You know, at our event that we had in February, we literally had a husband and wife team, Judy Smith and Dave Smith, seasoned veteran agents, top producers. And they said to me, hey, Mike, you know, your training was amazing, but you didn't talk about the language of luxury a whole lot. And at a previous training we've gone to, they said, say this instead of this. And they really focused on the language. And so I said to Dave, I want you and your wife to be engaged in a conversation with a potential client versus worried about, do I say this or do I say this? So be authentic, be yourself. And that's what we talk about on this latest vlog, educational blog, The Language of Luxury. Our previous vlog, we talked about the 5 price points. We believe that there's 5 price points in some areas, and there's 4 price points really in all areas. Again, you have entry level pricing in most markets. You have average price point in all markets. In some markets, you have high end, which is defined as 2 times the average sale price in your market. And then we define a luxury home as a home that is 3 times the average sale price in your market. So those are the 4 buckets that are in literally 90% of markets. The 5th bucket is in some markets, and that's what we call ultra luxury, which is 10 times the average price point for your given market. So if your average sale price in your market is 300 times 10 is 3 million and above is what we call ultra luxury. So those are the types of topics we talk about in our blog, and we bring on our Luxury Fridays. And all you have to do literally is go to luxredefined.com. If you go to luxredefined.com, you will be redirected over to our blog, luxredefined.com. And that's where you'll be redirected over to our blog that you see on the screen. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to give a little to our guest before I bring him on screen here. I've recently spoke at an event on crypto, blockchain, and NFT. I was enjoying myself down in Cabo at an event that Brent Gove had. If you don't know Brent, high energy guy, great guy. He was with eXp Realty, as I'm with eXp Realty as well. But our Luxury Fridays and our podcast and our designation are non-branded, right? I call them brand agnostic. We want to help agents of all brands, all brokerages. But I had to leave Cabo early to go speak at this NFT conference. I was on a panel and I moderated a panel. And maybe you've heard of crypto and blockchain and NFT. We're going to keep it really simple today. And I'm going to bring on my guest. And Jeremy is going to be on the screen here any minute. There he is. Jeremy, how you doing today?
Good, doing good. Nice to see you again, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for waiting in the waiting room. I saw you in there and wanted to give a little context, but tell everybody about who you are and specifically what you're doing. You got an impressive bio, and I know over the past few months, you've been ingraining yourself on what's happening in blockchain and crypto and 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 NFTs, and we're going to try to keep it really simple today, but tell everybody a little bit about you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the topic at hand.
So I'm the CTO of Consortia. The Consortia is it's going to be the It's the NFT platform for all of North American real estate. Teresa Grobecker is the CEO, and she's over blockchain technology at NAR. And she's really the one that's been pioneering the way through the industry, helping set the regulation and help moving the governments forward, and all the programs, the Fannie Mae, Fannie and Freddie, moving them forward to be able to offer products to allow people to purchase homes with crypto. So she created a blockchain back in 2018 to start converting real estate documents into NFTs and to start minting homes as NFTs. So we're just now getting in the process of rolling that out and building it and onboarding agents and onboarding listings. The listing process is changing a little bit. Fundamentally, I think it's pretty much the same. We're just improving it with blockchain. But there's a lot of education that's going to have to come with everybody that's an agent or that's in the market. They're going to have to start learning these new processes, and we're getting ready to roll out training soon.
That's terrific. Yeah, I saw Teresa about 3 weeks ago. She presented at the T3 Summit. For those of you that have watched a previous episode of Luxury Fridays, or if you don't even know where to go, you can go to our YouTube channel, go to Marketing Luxury Group, and you'll see our previous Luxury Fridays there. And if you look at the one that we did, I believe it was on Friday, May 3rd, May 4th, whatever that Friday was, maybe it was the 5th, whatever that date was, that was when we talked a little bit recapping the T3 Summit. We learned and heard from so many C-level CEO types, from Remax to Sotheby's to other Realogy brands, and Gary Keller and Glenn Sanford. But we also heard people talking about blockchain and what it's doing to speed up the real estate transaction. So let's keep it really simple. Tell everybody first off, kind of keep it, assuming people don't know a whole lot about it. Tell me a little bit about blockchain and crypto and real estate.
So blockchain, one of the main benefits to blockchain is, as all the documents go onto blockchain from the mortgage and title and real estate agents, a lot of the documents are going to be there, like floor plans, and the process is getting sped up as well. Like, we're moving to desktop appraisals. Fannie and Freddie released documentation on that back in March, updating the process. And my wife Christina has actually gone through the process now. She's got several listings already on blockchain, and one of the you're pretty much
Now,
go
can
ahead.
I pause you right
Yeah.
there? So, Jeremy, when you say that your wife, who's a licensed agent, she's excellent, by the way, she had us down in St. Louis to do our training in October. But when you say she's got several of her listings on blockchain, slow down a bit. Some people don't even know what blockchain is. Some people don't know what that means. So when you say, 1, 2, 3, Cardinal Way, when she's got 1, 2, 3 Cardinal Way on blockchain, what does that mean?
So the listing is going on blockchain. When she goes through and does the inspections, she's doing a desktop appraisal, which is what the real estate market is moving to. Her photographer actually walked through the house with a new phone app and scans the baseboards. And by scanning the baseboards of the house, the app does a calculation. It pretty much makes the floor plan, runs all the calculations, does all that, and then based on the video, the appraiser is able to appraise the house's value. So it speeds up the appraisal process, and you're pretty much able to underwrite the whole process before the money goes into escrow. So the goal with blockchain is to make finance offers as competitive as cash, because the goal is to be able to offer that close date in 10 to 14 days.
So quicker close should the seller want, more peace of mind, because everything's streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, we're talking Luxury Fridays, and when you're talking high end and luxury, desktop appraisals, especially, I have a $9 million property, guaranteed rate, who I do a lot of business and trainings with, and my preferred lender, John Nolden. I know they can only do a loan up to $5 million, and recently we had a deal that was under contract for 5 million, and two appraisals were required. So there's probably not going to be desktop appraisals for luxury. Is that correct?
Yes, I would say there will be. I think when real estate shifts to blockchain, the majority, I think desktop appraisal is going to be the new standard.
So okay, interesting. So we'll see when that I do believe if that does occur, it's not going to occur at the same rate. I think that's going to be a little bit slower to occur, especially in markets like Chicagoland, where last year, over the last year, there's only been six sales above, I think, $6.5 million in the suburbs. The year before that, eight. So there's just not a lot of data out there, right? And so you're comparing land in Hinsdale, Illinois versus land in the North Shore versus land in Barrington Hills. The dirt is different, the
Hmm.
materials. So we'll see on that. That's a very bold prediction, and I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I am
Yeah.
saying I think in those unique properties, you
Yeah.
are going to be. Uh, so, real quick, those of you that are watching on my Instagram, go to luxuryfridays.com. If you go to Luxury Fridays, you click on that top link, and you'll be redirected over to my YouTube channel where you can jump in live. I got a great question. I'm not able to interact as much with our Instagram. I'm not able to bring you on camera. But Mike, I'm speaking with Jeremy. He's with RE. How do you pronounce that?
Reconsortia.
Reconsortia. Wow, I don't know what that means in language in layman's terms, but that's a difficult name to say.
Re is real estate. Consortia is like a hub. So
Reconsortia. All
that's how
right.
she came
So
up with the
a
name. The
CTO
black.
of Reconsortia, Mike, is who I'm talking with. But if you go to Luxury Fridays, I'd be happy to bring you on. Uh, so we got some interaction on Instagram. For those of you that watch, StreamYard doesn't push out to Instagram, so I have my phone in front of my desktop. All right. So you're talking. So she put this home on blockchain. Tell me a little bit about, is she in this case, is she is her sellers on board to market it as far as they will accept digital currency, they'll accept crypto uh, at a closing, or at least advertise it that way, where as the exchange can occur and they can still get uh, cash, if you will, at closing.
So blockchain and crypto are two different things. Blockchain is like think of blockchain like a database, and NFTs like the file system. So the transaction is still going to happen in cash. That you can't legally purchase homes with crypto yet and keep it in crypto. I mean, there's loopholes and there's ways to do it. You can put a home or a property under an LLC and sell the LLC for crypto, but you can't sell homes for crypto yet.
Okay, so um, I guess let me rephrase that. So you're selling 123 St. Louis Way, Cardinal Way. Uh, from a differentiating standpoint, can I've seen it be done. It's been advertised where an agent says seller will consider crypto. At the end of the day, though, uh, they convert it to fiat, correct? And the seller isn't going to be doing a like exchange. However, there are third-party companies out there that will help oversee to verify that that buyer does have
Yeah,
the wherewithal, and then
those are
then
the
that
loopholes. Yeah.
right, and then they liquidate, and ultimately it's a traditional closing, but it's a way to differentiate yourself, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, right now you can use your crypto wallets as proof of funds, but at the end of the day, with good fair or good funds law, it has to be converted to USD. There are companies that will take a property and put it under an LLC, and you can sell the LLC for crypto. And there's people that do loans. Well, they do the escrow and I guess the underwriting, and they will take the Bitcoin and convert it for you essentially. But at the end of the day, the deal is pretty much happening in USD.
Yeah, it still might happen in USD, but there is a way where
Yeah.
you might pique people's radar, their antenna, where the crypto market right now, right, is very volatile, just like the stock market.
Yeah.
And you might be looking, you might see people liquidating. Do you think you'll see people look to liquidate their crypto a little bit more during volatility, or no, it depends. Some are long-term investors; they don't care up and down, but you might get some people hitting that panic button
Yeah.
and want to sell off.
I think in the bull markets, we'll probably see people start to diversify. I think in the bull markets, you can make money, like the traders, they can make money in down markets, they can make money in bull markets, they can short, they can long. So the good traders are making money no matter what market cycle we're in. But I feel like people pull profits, a lot of profits in the bull markets. So I could see the potential of diversifying into real estate, during a bull market versus the
Yeah.
bearish. Yeah.
All right, we got a comment from Mike at Spark Offer. He says, I think you're talking about financing. I do not see why a cash deal matters if cash or crypto or seller accept. You're absolutely right. At the end of the day, uh, the form of payment, and if they're comfortable with it, if many times it's price and terms, right? When you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
real estate, seller wants their price, but sometimes terms are just as important. Terms, closing date, how much they're putting down as is, what's included, what's not included, or form of payment is form of terms as well. So at the end of the day, you're absolutely right.
I agree with that too. Like I don't see what the big deal is if you're in the crypto world and you like Bitcoin and Ethereum, like you should be able to take that for your house. I think we'll see that regulation come soon to where we're able to purchase homes with Bitcoin and not have to convert that money into USD or stable coins as well.
Yeah. These are pretty advanced dialogues, right? Because they're looking at it from a tax perspective, I
Yeah.
believe, right? Um, and so that's where they're trying to avoid,
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, much like a 1031, right?
Yeah.
1031ing. So, really good information, Jeremy. So, let's talk about really keep it simple. Let's talk about some basic terminology. You mentioned blockchain already, and you defined blockchain. Uh, so tell me a little bit about NFTs. There's big buzz with NFTs,
Mm-hmm.
NFTs, NFT. People look at it looks like artwork from a second grader, and they NFT'd it and got all this money, right? So tell me a little bit about NFT, what it stands for. I know what it stands for, what it stands for, but specifically for real estate, how do you feel like it applies?
So NFT is non-fungible token. It's just a unique identification code for a blockchain. If you think about it in the real estate industry, you have your address. That's your unique identifier for your house. And NFT is the same thing. So it's just a unique identification code that's assigned to a non-fungible token. It's an NFT. And a lot of these companies that are minting homes in NFTs and selling homes as NFTs, you have to be careful because a lot of them, like up until recently, like
FTC?
there was one company that wasn't even filing title. And there's companies that work in the United States that convert homes into NFTs, and they do the KYC process outside the United States, like know your customer.
Yeah.
So it's
So pause that real quick.
yeah.
KYC is a term that many watching probably don't know what that means. So talk to me about KYC and specifically uh, with NFT and crypto and blockchain. What does
So,
KYC
well,
stand
let me back up a little bit too, and just say consortia is setting the standard for real estate for NFTs. We're using RESO's UPI code, Universal Property Index, I think is what it's called. It's your postal code, and we're like when we turn a home or a property into an NFT, we're actually running validators against that data. We're looking at the title. What is the name of the company? I have to look up the name of the company, but we're validating that the title is authentic and it matches up with the name of the owner and the address. And we're like this is the real estate standard. So consortia is minting the NFTs for North American real estate. Like it's coming from like NAR and like just everybody in the industry is kind of looking at Teresa to try to figure out how to create the standards around all of this. And Just be wary when you're working with other companies that don't know the standards yet, or they haven't adhered to any standards. Because I think there's a lot of startup companies out there that are trying to be first to market, because NFTs, blockchain, crypto, like it's such a hot topic right now, and everybody's trying to be that first person. And you got all these companies popping up like mushrooms, like everywhere, and nobody really knows the standards yet. So I just wanted to put out a little disclaimer.
Yeah, no, that's a great disclaimer. So
Yeah,
what I hear you saying is it's a little bit of a wild, wild west
for
still.
sure.
So know your customer, but also know the companies you're dealing with, and making sure
Yeah,
that because most real estate brokers, right? So if I'm a real estate agent in Wisconsin, New York, wherever, they're broker owners, or they're managing broker. They're not going to know legalities. They're not going to
yeah,
know, you know, if there's something from a FTC standpoint that is being violated. So,
yep.
uh, what what do you recommend in those cases? Where do I go? Where do I call down the state of Illinois legal hotline. They're going to look at me cross-eyed, like they don't know what we're referring to.
Well, I think the big change is when you fractionalize real estate or you convert homes into NFTs, they become securities at that point. It's like trading stock. So that's new in real estate, and there's a new positioning that's already here, but it's going to be more relevant as we move forward, and that's a broker dealer. There's going to be broker dealers that are going to be transferring real estate securities from one person to another, and they're going to be in charge of custody and all that kind of stuff. So,
Almost like
uh,
almost like almost like earnest money or title companies. These will be certified broker dealers that have been
yeah,
trained properly. They're taking on liability, but on the same token, they've taken training to make sure that they're doing everything uh, as they should.
yeah, they're Series 7 licensed, so they don't have to. I don't think they have to comply with like all of FINRA and options and like the whole stock market type like licensing and all that. But I know they have to be SEC licensed, and they have to work with like ATS exchanges, which is a new exchange for NFTs and for crypto trading and fractionalization and real estate and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is still being developed and is coming. But there are a few companies in the United States right now that are doing it. But it's a much different world on the back end
Yeah,
when we migrate into blockchain. But the transaction itself, it should relatively remain the same. We're still having title, mortgage, agents. If it was up to Silicon Valley, they would have already eliminated everybody out of the position and just had homes, switching hands on blockchain using smart contracts. But Teresa was really one of the pioneers that were like, no, we can't take mortgage and title. We still need title insurance. We still need we can't change the system. Like, we still need all these people there because they're the person that helps that agent or helps the client get through the process.
yeah,
So I mean, theoretically you probably could automate it, but at what cost?
yeah.
There's yeah,
Well, just again, my name is Michael LaFido. Those of you that are just tuning in, we're talking blockchain, we're talking crypto and NFTs. We're trying to keep it simple. Jeremy's on a whole different level here with his knowledge, and he spews off different terminology that most people still don't know. So I'm trying to keep it simple for the audience here. But just know, as a real estate agent, you always have to adapt. There's always something new coming out, and this isn't going to go away. I'm here to tell you, I've done enough research myself. I'm actually, gone through trainings, and we haven't had we haven't had too many sellers ask us, but you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for buyers. You need to be prepared for sellers. You need to know the basics, and uh, we're going to be sharing, and we're going to have various guests on our podcast, Luxury Listing Podcast.com is that URL. And Jeremy, we're going to have him on at some point talking about these topics. Again, if you have questions, this would be the time to ask a question for Jeremy. No matter what platform you're on, you can type them in the comments section. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, of course, please type it in. And if you're watching live, I know you probably can't see Jeremy. I recommend you go to luxuryfridays.com click on the YouTube link and you'll come on the live stream and you can type your questions, and feel free to type them in Instagram, but I might not get to them. All right. So do you have any, at your company, do you have any white paper, any free reports on just some basics, where somebody can go to and learn just some bare bones basics on blockchain or NFT? I'm putting you on the spot. And if not, maybe between Teresa and your staff, you guys can come up with some type of free report for realtors. When we worked for sale by owners years ago, we used to come up with what I call for sale by owner first aid kit, giving them the bare essentials to successfully sell by owner. I'm just rolling with it right now, but can you imagine something crypto and blockchain first aid kit, giving some kind of report uh, that our viewers, but as the others that you guys come across will need.
Well, it's Teresa's company. If you go to www.reconsortia.com, RECONT, let me pull it up. I have to type it out. Reconsortia, so RECONSORTIA, reconsortia.com. If you go to that website, you can look at the certified listing process. The practitioner NFT is the agent themselves. So the agent's going to be tied to all of the NFTs, the property NFTs, and all the deals they do. So you'll be able to search the real estate agent and pull up all the NFTs they've been all the properties they've closed on, essentially.
Are you able to type in the comment section that URL?
Yeah.
All right, and I'll bring it on the screen. I appreciate it, and I'll pull it up as well. Again, you're listening to Michael LaFido. This is Luxury Fridays. Tune in every Friday at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern. There's always an exception to the rule if I'm traveling, if there's a conflict, but next week we're on for the same time, the normal time, 11 a.m. Central. If you have questions, the best way to ask your questions would be type them in the comment section. If you're on Twitter, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on YouTube or Facebook. If you're watching this on Instagram, you're going to have to go to luxuryfridays.com, luxuryfridays.com. And I am pulling up the URL and dropping it in the comments right now for everybody to see. And there's different, I'm putting this in here too. There we go. I'm going to pull it on the screen so you guys can literally see. And I'm going to have you kind of point me around and click me around a little bit if you don't mind, Jeremy, so I can literally have you verbally give me a tour if you would. So here we are. We are.
Teresa and the team, they've already recorded at least 8 hours of training, and they're adding on to it with graphics and all that stuff now, the post editing, and they're planning on releasing certification soon on how to go over all of this and how to what the changes are. And NFTs are going to open up opportunities for mortgage companies, title companies, brokerages, anybody that's minting the NFTs. All this data revolved around real estate. It's the Web 3.0 is a democratization of data. It's people, it's all the content creators and all the creators of data. They're going to start getting paid for it. So
you just dropped a nugget that's huge. So I want you to go back. Web 3.0. Maybe you guys that are watching this, you're listening this, whether you're in real estate or not, perhaps you've heard of Web 3.0. So give me the layman's definition of Web 3.0 again, Jeremy.
It's the democratization of data. So that's the all the data in all the different ways that you contribute to the internet. You're going to.
So you like something on Facebook. There's an advertisement you stare at longer.
Your post,
click on an ad.
Yeah.
All that.
The documents you create as a realtor, they're going to be converted into NFTs. Like I imagine in 10 years, every PNG file, every JPEG, every MP4, like every PDF, every document that you can go search Google for and pull it up, they're all going to be NFTs, every single one of them.
Now, is that to prevent plagiarism, theft,
copyright,
property, copyright?
So all those people in the past that have created all that content and have it out there, it's out there for free. Uh, but soon, like as we shift into Web 3.0, all of that data is going to be, it's going to have copyright laws on it. The copy is going to be issued to the creator and the minter. So whoever mints the NFT, they're going to be able to sell that on the secondary market to somebody else. And as real estate shifts on the blockchain, I see consortia is kind of like the Carfax for your house. Like if you're going to looking at a property and that property sold, it depends on the mortgage companies and the title companies. If they want to migrate all their old data into NFTs, they're going to have that option, which will give a longer history on some of these properties. But moving forward, I think that we're going to just shift the blockchain. There's going to be two ways of doing things until everything's on blockchain. But once everything gets on blockchain, you're going to be able to go search a home and pull up every NFT that's ever been created for that house. And you're going to be able to see disclosure reports. You're going to be able to see like when the roof was replaced, when the stack was replaced, all the updates to the house. You're going to see the floor plans. You're going to be able to buy the remote desktop appraisals and actually go through the video. And it's offering so much data to the realtors that they don't currently have. So that's one of the major benefits, aside from, obviously speeding up the transaction and closing in 14 days. That's the goal that we're trying to achieve. And I think once we get everybody on the blockchain, we should be able to hit that goal.
Wow. So in essence, like BC before Christ, we're going to have BB before blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, they're going to. You're saying some companies might go back, but definitely will start and move forward with NFTing. Sounds like all sides of the deal.
It's happening fast too. Like we already have banks on board. We already have mortgage companies, title companies. We are the remote Val. That's the company that's doing the desktop appraisals, photography, real estate photography. Like when you go get pictures, this is the crazy thing. Like it's not only changing real estate, it's changing everybody. So even when you go get, or every industry. So even when you go get real estate photography done on your house, the photos are going to be converted to NFTs, and the realtor is going to buy the NFT from the photographer. So, and after they do all their marketing, like they could sell the NFT, and then you're going to have like Zillows and Realtor.coms and like brokerages, and they're all going to have to buy the photos to use on their websites. So it's NFTs are going to change everything. It's going to take a long time. I think it's going to take a while for people to get educated and adapt to the new idea, because it's a big change from Web 3.0 or Web 2.0.
Yeah, that's very advanced there. But hey, I appreciate the peek behind the curtain with what's coming, perhaps. So that's Web 3.0. We're talking blockchain today. We have various resources I shared with you earlier, and reconsortia.com. I'm going to butcher that name. If you guys have any questions for Jeremy, you have any questions for me, you have a stale listing. If you have a listing that's sitting on the market, you're not getting showings, you're not getting the feedback, you need some fresh eyes analysis. Yes. Hey, Brennan, how you doing, buddy? Just wanted to good to hear from you. Let me know how things are going on your end, Brennan. If you're still working open houses, would love to hear your success stories. But if you guys have one of those listings that's difficult, you have a difficult seller, they need a harsh dose of reality, maybe it's too personalized, then let us know. Drop in that link. We'd be happy to give a fresh eyes analysis. Any other questions? Any other questions for Jeremy? Jeremy, anything else you'd like to add?
No, just stay tuned for the training. If you're a real estate agent, you're going to see it. We're going to be going public real soon. Like once it's done, we're predicting like a big influx of people, because at the end of the training, you're going to be able to convert yourself as an agent into an NFT that's going to be assigned to all the property tokens and all that kind of stuff. So At the end of the
Saying
training, you're
I'm
going to,
going to be an NFT.
yeah.
All right, look at that.
So at the end of the training, we're going to be minting agents, the practitioners, as NFTs, and then people are going to have the option to mint their homes as NFTs, just to kind of get familiar with the process. So I'm building the automation to do that on a large scale because we're predicting a large influx of people to come through the training and do this. Because I mean, this is going to be the standard for real estate moving forward. So training is important. Make sure you're getting your training from the right people. I know there's a lot of crypto certified real estate agents out there, but the protocols are being set now. So just be wary of who you get your training from and stay tuned and be ready. Educate yourself on crypto and blockchain because uh, that's where the real estate industry is shifting. And I just feel like if you know how to have those conversations with people that are in crypto, it's just going to open up a world of opportunity for you as an agent. And there's going to be when blockchain when the regulation comes and people are able to buy homes with Bitcoin, it's going to open up a new market that we don't currently have in real estate. So those agents that really niche down and understand blockchain and the whole process and the trading, they're gonna have an advantage.
Niching down, that's what we teach with
Yep.
our course, Luxury Specialist, right? It's not luxury generalist, it's luxury specialist. So niche down, get ahead of the curve, right? Get ahead of a curve. I was just talking to my college roommate, Ryan. I was roommates with Ryan at Northern Michigan University. And I remember in 1996, 1997, he had the AOL dial up. And it was so foreign to me. I didn't understand it at all. He was telling me yesterday, yeah, I used to go on there and he used to go on there and just the internet and search Alice in Chains pictures, his favorite band. And, but we were ahead of the curve back then. He was ahead of the curve. You want to be ahead of the curve with blockchain and crypto. It's not going away. So, hey, Jeremy, I appreciate it. I'm sure this will be one of many further conversations we have, and we'll have you back again. We'll have Teresa on. And let me see if there's a comment that comes through here. Uh, all right. All right. Good. So that's all I have for you right now, Jeremy. You were excellent. I appreciate it. And say hi to your beautiful wife for us, would you?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on. Good
Have a
talking
great
to you.
day. All right. Thank you. So I got Brennan. Brennan shared here. Michael LaFido. That was great information. A lot of advanced stuff. Hopefully, you guys followed along. Jeremy's doing some great things, and Brennan's working open houses. Brennan, did we ever get you? I want to make sure we got you the objection handling playing cards for before. I think you did some open houses, uh, and we brought you on camera. I've had so many guests on. Forgive me, they all kind of blend together, but I appreciate you jumping on, and I thanks Anisha for jumping on as well. If you guys have any questions for me, please type them in. If you guys are watching a replay of this, the best way to get me a question would be send me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup. All things real estate, primarily real estate broker and real estate agent and team leader focused. But if you are a consumer, you own a home, you're thinking about owning a home, you're selling a home, and you're connected with me through social media, this is the time to ask questions. Again, we help brokerages and agents of all brands, all denominations, all backgrounds, and that's what we do here. We're all about raising the bar. And just a reminder, keep building others up. There's some terrible things going on in our world today. Be the light, be positive. Love is love, no matter how somebody votes. There's just so much division out there right now. And a lot of people have frustration, and unfortunately, a lot of people have hate in their hearts. So show kindness, even if you don't feel like kindness needs to occur. That's a good reminder to all of us. And Michelangelo once said, uh, the danger for most of us is not that our dreams are too big and that we don't achieve them, is that they're too small and we do achieve them, right? So dream big. Think about as a kid when somebody said, hey, what do you want to be when you're older? The thoughts were countless. I want to be an astronaut. I'm going to play in the major leagues. I want to be the president. And then somewhere we're told, no, 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 you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that all your life. And then what happens is you, as an agent, you as a mother, father, you don't dream like you used to dream. It's a shame. It shouldn't be that way. Uh, so I want to pull up our latest guest, uh, our latest podcast. Um, it's going to be coming out any moment, episode 192 with Teresa Bow. She was absolutely a great guest, and she talks about how being a woman of color, her barriers to entry to selling high-end and luxury real estate. You're not going to want to miss that episode. Again, you guys can go to luxurylistingpodcast.com for the most recent episodes. 190 was with Trey Scott. Man, he's going through some health battles, and we've posted his GoFundMe. He's a friend of mine. We helped launch a diversity designation together, myself and Trey and one other person. We launched CDS, Certified Diversity Specialist, in March of 2021, and he's just a great guy. So just a couple other things. I mentioned earlier our blog, luxurydefined.com. Check that out. There's some great content on there. If you go to luxurydefined.com, it's on your screen right now. Any questions? Any questions for me, guys? This would be a great time to ask it. Any questions? Again, if you guys go to Luxury Fridays, you see it scrolling across the bottom. You'll see some great links there. If you're an agent and you're thinking about switching brokerages, you're not sure what's out there, straight talk. I'll be glad to give you what I know. There's amazing brokerages that you've never heard of, and there's some brokerages that you have heard of, and they provide some great tools and resources. So reach out to me. I'm here to help any way we can. Next Friday, same time, same place. Let me see if I got anything else for you here. That's really it. I don't. Oh, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it, buddy. Good to hear from you, Matt Graham. Yes, Anisha, we're going to be, when the NFT training list comes out, we're going to be bringing them back on so we can promote. But I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate you guys asking questions, and I appreciate you tuning in. My name is Michael LaFido. You're watching this live before Memorial Day weekend here in the States. You guys have a great 3-day weekend, and it's amazing how much we do have in common with our neighbor if we just turn off the news that wants to divide us and we have a dialogue. Love is love, no matter how somebody votes. Keep building people up, and we'll talk to you soon. My name is Michael LaFido. Make it a great day. And if you guys have any questions, shoot me a note, shoot me an email, and I appreciate you listening. Until next week, this is another Luxury Fridays. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. We'll talk to you soon. And remember to prove them wrong. Take care, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.